So hello coders, welcome to our channel Level Up with Coding. Today I will discuss about the Leetcode daily challenge question, number of students unable to eat lunch. So the question is saying that the school cafeteria offers circular square sandwiches at lunch break, refers to the numbers 0 and 1 respectively. All students stands a queue. Each student either prefers square or circular sandwiches. Okay, the number of sandwiches in the cafeteria is equal to the number of students. The sandwiches are placed in a stack at each step. If students at the front of the queue prefers the sandwiches on the top of the stack, they will take it and leave the queue. Otherwise they will leave it and go to the queue's end. Okay, this condition until none of the queue students wants to take the top sandwiches and thus unable to eat. Okay, you are given two integers array students and sandwiches, where sandwiches I is the type of the I sandwiches in the stack. I equals to 0 is the top of the stack and students j is the preference of the jth student, and initial queue j equals to 0 is the front of the queue. Return the number of students unable to eat. So example 1, input students 1100 and sandwiches 0101. The output is 0. So basically in the first element is pop and push it in the back. These types they are solve this problem and output is 0. We will discuss it in the pen and paper. Okay, so this how we it solve it and output is 0. So in this example 2, the students is basically 111001 and sandwiches is basically 1000011. So output is 3. So in there the constants are basically sandwiches dot length is less than equals to 100. Okay, so 100 तक जा सकता है and the students dot length is equals to sandwiches dot length. So students जितना सारा है sandwiches भी उतना सारा ही है, and sandwiches of I is 0 or 1 and students of I is 0 or 1. Okay, so now we solve it in pen and paper. So basically this is the question, number of students unable to eat lunch, and they given a input students in the array. There the elements are 1 1 0 0 and the indexing are 0 1 2 3, and the sandwiches in this array the given elements are 0 1 0 1. So indexing 0 1 2 3 and the output is 0. So how can we do the question? Okay, so basically they are saying that there are only two types of element, 0 and 1. 0 is the circular sandwiches and the 1 is basically the square sandwiches, and the students are in the queue. Okay, in the queue, and the sandwiches are in the stack. They are saying about that. Okay, sandwiches, the student's total size is same to the sandwiches total size. Okay, and you can just check that in the student first elements are same to the sandwiches first elements or not. Either they are not same, either they are not same, then you can just pop it and push it in the back of this queue. Okay, just check it. In this queue there the elements are 1 1 0 and 0. Okay, so first of all front student leave the top sandwiches, return to the end of the line making student. Okay, so basically the first element is 1 and this is the square sandwiches, but in this sandwiches that they need the circular sandwiches, so they are not matching. So you just pop it and push it in the back side. Okay, so that will return 1 0 0 and 1, these types, right? So and now you can check it, there the first elements 1 and in there the first element is 0, and now this is not matched. So you just pop it and push it in the back. So the array is basically 0 0 1 and 1. Now you can check the elements are matched, they are circular sandwiches and this is also. So just you pop it in of them. Okay, and now the array is basically 0 1 1. In there the first was is 1, in there the first one is 0, so they are not matched. Just pop it and push it in the back. So 1 1 and 0, in there the first one is 1 and in there also first one, so just pop of them. Okay, now the first one is 1, in there the first one is 0, so just pop it and push it on in the back side. So 0 and 1, so the first element is 0 in there also, so just pop it. Now in there the first element is 1, in there the first element is 1, just pop it. And now you can check all the iteration done in circular sandwiches 0 and square sandwiches, that is 1. So there will no any elements are there, so though all of them are pop, so it output is 0, so it's return 0. Very easy question. Okay, so now this is the first example. We can check with second example, because every time they will not return 0 or return 0, because any other test cases there 1 or 2 elements are returned. So you can check with second example. So example, in there the students are basically 1 1 1 0 0 and 1. Okay, and the sandwiches are basically 1 0 0 and 0 and 1 and 1. Okay, and the output is basically 3. So how can we solve the problem? So basically students are basically in the queue form, so we do it in the queue form, in the queue, and these sandwiches are in the stack form. So 1 0 0 0 1 1 in the stack. Now we just check in there, this is these square sandwiches, because we saying about this in this previous one. So just we write it there. 0 is basically circular and 1 is basically the square. 1 is basically this square. Okay, so just check 1 1 1 0 0 1, this queue, just check 1 and 1, this is the square and this is also the square, so they are matched, just pop them. Now in there the first element is 1 1 0 0 and 1, so there the first element is 1, and in there the first element is 0, they are not matches, so just pop it and push it in the back side. So the array is basically 1 0 0 1 and 1. This is the queue, and there the first element is 1, and in there the first element is 0, so this is not matched, just pop it and push it in the back. So 0 0 1 1 and 1, in there the first element is the first element is 0 and the first element is 0. Okay, they are matched, so just pop them, and there the first element is 0, then second one is 1 and 1 and 1, and in there the first element is 0, so they are also matched, just pop them. So the first element is 1 and the second and the third, in that the first element is 0. Now check it, they are not matched. Okay, so just pop it and push it in the back side. So the element is 1 1 1, so now they are not matched, just pop it and push it in the back side. So 1 1 1, now they are not matches. So now there is a problem is come. Every time you are pop it and push it in the back side, but they are not matches, because in there this is the circular sandwiches, and in there no one is not circular sandwiches, because they are all the in this array all the elements are 1, and in this 1 1 is 0 and another 2 is 1 1, so there is not matched. So return 3, because there are 3 elements in the array are returned, so it return 3. So this type you just solve this problem and return it. Okay, just using queue and stack we solve the problem easily. Okay, and the time complexity in them is of n into n, because of stack and queue uses, and plus c, because the count how many times are come to store, because of, so this is the time complexity, and space complexity of them is of n. Okay, so this is the brute force solution. Now we are code it, solve it with the brute force approach. You just check it there. So basically first we are get the length of the student vector. Okay, so the length of the student vector, and now create a queue to represent the students. So now create a stack to represent with the sandwiches. Okay, so push each student into a stack into the student queue. Okay, just these steps, and now push each sandwiches into this sandwich stack in reverse order. Okay, so now initialize a count to keep track the consecutive iteration. Okay, just loop until either the student's queue is empty or count exists the size of the queue, just while not equals to student queue dot empty, and then count is student queue dot size less than. So if sandwiches dot top is equals to student queue dot front. Check if the top sandwiches matched the front student in the queue. If they are matched, remove both the sandwiches and student from their respective data structure. So sandwiches sandwich stack dot pop and student queue dot pop. Just count equals to 0. Reset the count to 0 since we have made a successful match. Else student queue dot push, student queue dot front, and student queue dot pop. If they are don't match, move the front student to the back of the queue. Okay, and count plus plus increment the count to indicate a consecutive iteration without return the remaining size of the student queue, which represents the number of students who did not get the sandwiches. Okay, just run. And it's successfully submitted, 100% did. Now we are doing the optimal approach. So we have come to our optimal approach and how we optimal the code. So now we in this approach we are not using any stack and queue, just we are doing with the frequency. With the frequency we solve this problem. So how we solve the problem using the frequency? Just saying, in there the ones are what, the square sandwiches, and the zeros are what, the circular sandwiches. So just using the example 1, the students are 1 1 0 and 0, the sandwiches are 0 0 1. So just we need the frequency of 1. One's frequency are how many? 2, and the zeros frequency are 2. Just check with, and there first elements is what, 0. So just remove one of them and its frequency is what, 1. And now now the second element is 1, so just remove and its frequency is 1. In that the first element is what, 0, so just remove and its frequency now is 0. So the first element is 1, just remove and the first frequency is what, 0. So now you can check its return is what, its return is 0, and we easily do it. So now just check reverse and pop of the first element, and push it in the back, it's easily हो जाएगा. Okay, we have to return its frequency. Okay, so we easily return the frequency easily. Just count of them, how many times ones are come and how many times zeros are come, and then we just check in the sandwiches and just minus on the frequencies, and after then it's return zeros and all the sandwiches are end, then we just return. Easily it is done. We do with the second example. So just check with the frequency. 1 is how many times? 1 is 4 times. 0 is how many times? 0 is 2 times. Just check with the first element. First is 1, so just this frequency is 0. Next is 0, so its frequency is 1. Next is 0, so its frequency is 0. It is done, but there is one another. Okay, so how we do this? So just check in there the elements are how many times? 3 times. So just return there 3, because 3 elements are अभी तक बाकी है. Okay, so just return 3, because in there 0 is come but 0 is end in there, the frequency of 0 is 0 in there, so we just return 0. Okay, so easily we do it using frequency. And using frequency, time complexity in there is O of n and space complexity is O of 1. Very optimal approach. Just code it. Why O of n approach? Because we don't do any queue or stack, we just do in a while loop. Okay, and O of 1 approach, so we code it. The optimal approach. So basically in there I was saying about that we are don't using any stack and queue. Just check initialize the count of students preferring circle and square sandwiches. So circle student count is equal to 0 and square student count is equal to 0. Count the number of students prefer circle and square sandwiches. Okay, just check I equal to 0, then circle student count. Frequency, just increment count of circle sandwiches. Just we need the frequency. Okay, and increment the count of square sandwiches. Iterate through sandwiches and process each one. So just iterate and check if the sandwiches is circle and there are no circle sandwiches, prefer student left, and check return the remaining square sandwiches preferring students, and check if the sandwiches is square and there is no square sandwiches preferring student left, then return remaining circle sandwiches preferring student. If the sandwiches is circle, decrement circle student count. If the sandwiches is square, decrement the square sandwiches count. Okay, and then if all sandwiches are distributed successfully, just return 0. Okay, just easily we have solved this question. Okay, so time complexity, this question is what? O in, and space complexity what? O of 1. Okay, just run it. Just check 100% bit. Okay, and 95.64% bits using with C++ now. So thank you for seeing this. Please like, comment and share. Okay, so bye.